Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something that might sting for a moment. Have you ever noticed how a younger woman will act completely normal around every guy in the room? Except you? She laughs easily with others. Her body language is relaxed, her voice steady. But when it's you she's standing in front of, suddenly her hands fidget, her eyes dart away, her words stumble as though her tongue has forgotten how to form a simple sentence. You may think she's disinterested or that she's hiding something, but the truth is far stranger and far more powerful. What you are seeing isn't rejection, it's nervous attraction, the kind she doesn't even want to admit to herself. Younger women, especially those drawn to older men, often find themselves battling with a storm of emotions they can't fully control. Their nervousness isn't weakness, it's a reflection of how much your presence shakes them to their core. Imagine this: when she sees you, her subconscious is running calculations she doesn't even realize. She feels the maturity in your energy, the authority in your silence, and the quiet confidence that comes only from years of experience. To her, you're not just another man. You're the man who triggers something primal, something rare. That tension you feel in the air, the hesitation in her speech, is not a wall. It's a window into how badly she wants your approval. But here's the twist. Her nerves don't come only from attraction, but from the fear of being exposed. She knows she doesn't have the same years of wisdom or stability. She fears saying something that might reveal her inexperience, that you'll look through her like a teacher through a student, finding flaws she hasn't even discovered in herself. This is why she avoids eye contact 1 second and stares too long the next. It's why her body seems torn between wanting to move closer and running away. Every little nervous gesture is a confession she can't voice. You must understand this, because the worst mistake men make is misreading her nerves as disinterest. Many men pull away too soon, thinking they've lost her, when in reality, her nervousness is the strongest sign that she feels something intense. The question is, do you know how to read it? Or are you letting her anxiety push you out of the very place she secretly wants you to stay? You need to realize something that most men never will. Nervousness is not random. It's not an accident. It's a signal. When a younger woman gets jittery around an older man she likes, her entire body is betraying her inner conflict. She's caught between desire and doubt, between craving your attention and fearing what it means to have it. Think about it. If you didn't matter, she wouldn't care how she looked, how she sounded, or how she came across. Nervousness is her unconscious way of telling you, you matter more than the others. But let me peel this back even deeper. Younger women often grow up imagining older men as untouchable, almost like figures carved out of stone, too experienced, too wise, too sharp to be fooled. When she stands in front of you, she feels that weight. She thinks you can see through her playful facade, straight into the truth she's trying to hide, that she's fascinated by you, that she's drawn to your steadiness, that you make her feel like a girl again, even if she's already a woman. This is why she might talk too much or too little, why her voice might crack, or why she might suddenly become shy. Her nervous system is on fire, and she doesn't know how to cool it down. Now here's where most men sabotage themselves. They see her nervousness and assume it's a sign to back off, to not bother, to avoid making her uncomfortable. But that very discomfort is the proof of her attraction. If you were just another guy, she'd be smooth, calm, maybe even a little bored. The fact that she's stumbling in your presence is not weakness. It's a powerful form of respect. She senses the gap between you and the boys her age, and that gap excites her as much as it scares her. And here's the secret. What she's really waiting for is reassurance. She wants to know she's not foolish for being drawn to you. She wants to feel safe while still feeling thrilled. If you can steady her storm with your calm presence, if you can laugh off her nervous slips instead of judging them, you become unforgettable to her. Nervousness is attraction wrapped in fear, and only a man with patience and insight can unwrap it without tearing it apart. There's something you have to burn into your mind. When a younger woman is nervous around you, it's because you represent more than just a man. You represent possibility, danger, and transformation all at once. To her, you're not simply flesh and blood. You're a test she can't prepare for. And that test terrifies her, because deep down, she knows one truth. Older men don't play the same games boys do. You've lived long enough to see through the tricks, the masks, the shallow performances, and that alone shakes her world. Pay close attention to her micro-reactions. Her lips part as if she wants to say something but doesn't. Her breathing shifts when you step closer. Her laugh comes out too loud, too fast, because silence next to you feels unbearable. These are not mistakes, they're leaks in her armor, and if you're wise, you won't rush to fill the silence or rescue her from that nervous energy, because the tension she feels is where attraction grows. Men who panic and soften that tension too quickly end up in the friend zone. Men who can sit in the discomfort, calmly, with a faint smile that says, "I see you," are the ones who linger in her thoughts long after. But here's what's even more fascinating. Her nerves are not just about you. They're about her own reflection in your presence. A younger woman around an older man she likes feels herself exposed, not just to your gaze, but to her own insecurities. She wonders, am I good enough for him? Does he see me as too young, too reckless, too inexperienced? Can I live up to what I think he deserves? That nervous laugh is her inner dialogue spilling out sideways. It's not rejection. It's reverence disguised as clumsiness. And if you want the raw truth, here it is. Her nervousness is attraction turned inward. It's desire fighting against doubt, admiration fighting against fear. Most men will never catch this nuance. They'll misread her shaking hands or darting eyes as a lack of interest. But the man who understands, the man who reads her nerves as a secret confession, that's the man who wins her loyalty. Remember this. Calmness is your weapon. When she trembles, don't mirror it. Stand steady. Because nothing disarms a nervous heart faster than a man who refuses to flinch. Here's the truth no one tells you. Her nervousness is not random. It's her biology, her psychology, and her conditioning all colliding the moment you enter her space. Attraction to older men often stirs a cocktail of emotions in younger women: excitement, insecurity, curiosity, and fear. She feels the magnetic pull of your experience, your presence, your calmness. But at the very same time, she worries about what that attraction reveals about her. She thinks, why him? Why do I feel this way about someone older? And instead of answers, she's left with nerves. Think about it like this. Nervousness is energy. It's her body telling you that you are not neutral to her. She doesn't get shaky around men she doesn't care about. She doesn't fumble her words with guys she feels nothing for. That energy is proof, undeniable proof, that you've struck a chord inside her that others can't reach. But most men waste it. They misinterpret her awkward pauses or shy glances as rejection, when in fact, those are golden signs that she's invested, that her emotions are running hot beneath the surface. Now here's where mastery comes in. If you respond to her nervousness with pressure, with neediness, with trying to fix it, you crush the very attraction that created it. But if you respond with ease, with patience, a steady gaze, and lightheartedness, you give her what she secretly craves: balance. She's nervous because she feels she might lose control. But when you remain composed, you become the anchor she didn't know she needed. That's why so many younger women stay hooked on older men long after the initial spark, because you offer them the stability they can't find with boys their age. Understand this. Nervousness is not a barrier to break. It's a doorway. When she's uneasy, it means she's wide open emotionally. It means her guard has already been lowered without her consent, and if you handle that moment with wisdom, you step into a part of her heart most men will never touch. That nervous laugh, that awkward silence, that's her way of saying, without words, "You matter to me more than I want to admit." And the man who recognizes this, who doesn't mistake it for rejection, unlocks something rare and unforgettable. Most men chase after the obvious signs: smiles, compliments, easy laughter. But the deepest truth is hidden in the uncomfortable moments, in the nervous silence, in the stumbles she can't control. Younger women often reveal their strongest attraction, not through confidence, but through chaos. When she's around you, her nervous energy is her soul betraying her body. And if you can read this, you're already ahead of almost every man she's ever met. Let's get brutally honest. Younger women aren't nervous around men they don't care about. Indifference breeds calmness. But when she likes you, when she's truly drawn to you, her body rebels against her. Her heart races, her pupils dilate, her words tangle. She might even avoid you for no reason other than the fact that you make her feel too much. Think about that. The very act of running away can be a confession in disguise. She's not escaping from you, she's escaping from herself, from the storm of feelings you awaken. Now here's the trap. Many men misread her distance or shyness as disapproval. They pull away, thinking they're respecting her space, when in reality, they're abandoning the moment that mattered most. What she wanted was for you to hold steady, to stand as proof that her nervousness isn't a weakness, but a secret bond. The truth is, her nerves are a signal flare. They tell you, you've touched something inside her she can't explain. That's not a time to retreat. It's a time to stay calm, collected, and grounded. But let me give you the darker layer. Nervousness also reveals vulnerability, and vulnerability in attraction is rare. It means she sees you as someone with the power to affect her, to shake her balance, to change her. That's why her nerves are precious. They're not just signs of desire, they're proof of trust forming beneath the surface. If she didn't trust you on some level, she wouldn't allow herself to feel so exposed. Attraction mixed with vulnerability creates intensity, and intensity is unforgettable. So remember this: her nervousness is not an obstacle to overcome, it's a treasure map. Every fidget, every slip, every awkward pause is pointing you toward the truth. She feels something real, and only the man wise enough to decode that truth will ever fully experience it. Now let me leave you with a truth that will sit heavy on your chest if you really let it in. Nervousness is attraction in disguise. It's the trembling of a younger woman's world when faced with a man who stands taller, calmer, sharper than the rest. When she stumbles on her words, when she avoids your eyes, when she laughs at nothing, she's not rejecting you. She's revealing that you have an effect on her she can't control. That loss of control terrifies her, but it also excites her more than she'll ever admit out loud. And here's the dangerous part. Most men will never recognize it. They'll miss the signs, back away too soon, or misinterpret her nerves as lack of interest. They'll leave thinking, she's not into me, when in reality, she'll go home replaying every second in her mind, wishing she hadn't seemed so awkward in front of him. The tragedy is that her nerves are often her loudest confession, but only the man who can read them with wisdom will ever hear what she's really saying. So what do? You don't chase, you don't pressure, you don't fumble to fill the silence. You stay steady. You show her that her nervousness is safe in your presence. You laugh lightly when she slips. You look her in the eye without flinching. You stand as if the ground beneath you cannot be shaken. Because when she sees that, when she feels your calmness against her storm, she will never forget you. To her, you become the man who didn't just attract her, you anchored her. And anchors are rare. Anchors are irreplaceable. Younger women don't get nervous around every man. They get nervous around the ones who awaken something deep, something primal, something undeniable. And if you've seen that nervousness directed at you, it means more than you think. It means you matter. It means you've touched something real inside her. The only question is, are you wise enough to hold steady and let her nerves work in your favor, or will you misread them and walk away like the rest? So tell me, have you ever noticed a younger woman acting nervous around you? And did you realize in that moment what it truly meant? Share your story in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this video opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and send it to a friend who needs to hear this today.